It's May the 1st, 2024. I am at Troll Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. A new month means a whole lot of
Are you okay?
I got nothing today. I got nothing. Jeremy Lambert's here. He's got all the stuff. How are you?
Dun, 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 dun. It's gonna be May.
Oh yeah, you gotta use that meme before everyone uses it to death.
It's
Shout out to
already
our
been
pal.
used to death.
He's gonna say shout out to our pal Vinny Pacifico, who has literally killed the meme.
Yeah,
But
it's
in
already
the first 5 minutes of the month.
It's already been used, but you know what? No one's using it on air, right? You know, they're just posting the graphic and stuff. I'm giving you audio out here. That's what I'm doing.
Every little thing I do, babe, I do it all for you. Guess what?
That's a different group, right?
Oh, you're right. That's totally different.
Yeah, I think that's 38 Celsius.
Oh, they're Canadian. That's my group.
Are they?
No, 38 Celsius.
Yeah.
You made a joke about not being 98 degrees.
Yeah.
They would be Canadian.
Oh.
I mean, they could be European, hypothetically. They're just not American. That's the only thing they couldn't be.
All right.
Which honestly is probably a good thing.
That wasn't bad, Joel. That was a nice layered joke there. You want to talk about layers? You want to talk about the Kendrick and Drake beef?
No, I'm going to save that.
Why, coward?
Well, I'd rather save that for people who are a little more well versed in the situation.
I'm well versed in it.
Oh, you should guest on Grapsity this week. They're going to talk about it. They've been talking about it every week. It's been a thing.
I know. I don't want to ruin their flow.
I get it.
Just pop on. This random white boy pops on to talk about.
It's happened before. I'm just saying, on their show, it's happened before.
Has it?
Yeah, they had Johnny LaCostro not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think Sean's also popped on, random white boy.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, Drake is white, according to Rick Ross and Kendrick.
Listen, man, it's not my place to tell people who they are, what color their skin is.
Rick Ross just keeps calling him white boy.
I'll leave that shit alone.
In my
world, that's like somebody saying your mom's not Jewish, therefore you're not Jewish, and me being like, "Nah, you identify. Guess what? You're Jewish." Like, sorry, you're one of us now.
This beef rules. Did you listen to the track? Did you listen to Euphoria?
No.
Why? You don't like Drake? I feel like this is right up your alley.
I know. Did they make any comments about Degrassi and wheelchairs?
Nah, Euphoria is, the joke.
It was a TV show, one with all the penises.
Well, yeah, but it's also, Drake is a producer and it's about underage sex, so it's a very layered comment or a layered track title. Dude, it rules. That's all I've been listening to.
People have been saying a long time he be grooming, but that's not my thing to say.
Kendrick's so good. I love Kendrick.
I love it when y'all leave a thumbs up on the video. And I love it when y'all subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. Tell your friends about us. If you haven't already, what's wrong with you? Enough people misspell my name on a regular basis when they're making fun of me. Spell my name properly if you're going to make fun of me. But also, you can misspell my name as long as you're telling people to listen to the show. We're here.
Where did this come from? Are you angry about people misspelling your name?
No, but it's been an ongoing thing that I've been like, if you're going to crack wise about me, like at least spell my name properly. I don't want to. I'm not going to give this too much air because like there's no. It's a nothing story that's funnier to me, and that is The Rock yesterday, or it was announced. Not the piss bottle commentary, not the piss bottle. That's later. That's later for the show. No, but instead there was the story about The Rock and $7 and the guys from Darkside doing a whole brand new, never before seen conversation about the death of WCW. Totally new, uncharted territory we've never seen in the wrestling world. And so I said, that's basically what I said, and I'm a sarcastic little SOB. So someone in the responses, one person was like, "Oh, maybe it'll be a totally different non-WWE version of it." And I said, "Well, no, because $7 is owned by a guy who sits on the board of TKO and was a prevalent part of WWE storylines up until 3 weeks ago, had a main event match at WrestleMania." And then someone else started like spouting this weird stuff. Like, you're not why don't you do the hard journalism? Why don't you talk about this person and that person? And we're like, you mean the people that we've already talked about and said this is not a thing? And I didn't reply. I just didn't. I just said, like, I quote tweeted one thing and I said, "You'll never guess what this is in response to," and that just brings you back to my comment about The Rock and WCW. And then our pal Auntie Collins, who hosts a show here on the channel, Wrestling Made Me Cry. Go check that out, please. Her and Kylie do a fantastic job. Sent me a DM this morning, and it was screenshots because Collins apparently responded to this person being like, "Yeah, Joel's got big balls," because the guy was calling me like I have such big balls, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what is going on? So anyway, it became a stupid inside thing, and then this person wrote an article or something on their blog. And I'm like, I'm not clicking this because this blog feels like it's just pop-up city. And if I want pop-up city, I'll open up PW Insider without an ad blocker. Okay.
Wow.
Tell me when I'm telling lies, Jeremy Lambert. And so I don't open it, but Colin sent me the screenshots, and the person misspelled my name, spelled it Joe Pearl. And I'm like, if you're gonna do this, I get it, but if you're gonna do it, at least put some respect on the diss. Like, it's like calling Drake Drock. It just doesn't work.
Who calls him Drock?
But that's my point is, if you're going, like, because it was a callback to your Drake comment.
Well, there is a line in the song where Kendrick talks about aiming a Drake. There's apparently a gun. I'm not up on the gun culture. Sorry to everybody, but it's a Draco. That's a gun. And he shortened it to Drake, but it's spelled D-R. Sorry, I can't spell. D-R-A-C, but it's usually D-R-A-C-O, Draco, but he shortened it to Drake. And he's talking about aiming it and how he's going to, not miss this time. So there's kind of a little bit of a misspelling of Drake. It could just be a high-level diss, Joel. You don't know that.
I don't think so, considering all they did was drop the letter. It was just very strange. Anyway, shout out to Collins, because I thought that was a very funny way to start my morning. They were just like,
do you need the massive balls shirt?
You know what?
To get that for you.
If you
Is that
did,
thing still on sale?
Oh, if it's not, I don't know what we're doing here. It should absolutely. It should be on sale. By the way, at 10:30, so in about 20 minutes time, the pals from Love Wrestling, Spenny and Zach, are going to join us, where they're going to talk about their upcoming Money in the Drink pub crawl they're doing in Toronto for Money in the you-know-what bank. So they're going to join us soon. We're going to talk about that. And of course, everything else, because when they join us, everything's always topsy-turvy and upside down, okay? Shout out to our pal Cher Delaware, by the way. It's her birthday today. Sending love to her.
I said happy birthday to her yesterday on FMC.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Did you get her anything for her birthday?
She didn't have to do this show today.
That's a big win.
It doesn't look like the Ms. Massive Balls shirt is a thing. But I did find this shirt, Joel. This shirt sucks. Hold on, I'm screenshotting it. Why would...
Oh yeah, this shirt is gone. That sucks, out of stock.
All right, hold on. Let me pop this shirt on air here. This is an awful shirt. Who would buy this thing?
Is this the other Miz shirt?
I don't know what other Miz shirt you're talking about. This is not specifically a Miz shirt. This is a Father's Day shirt.
What? This is awful. Do not.
Who would wear this?
If you are looking for the nicest gift for your father this holiday season, do not.
So for our audio listeners, it is a shirt that says, "This dad is a freakin'," with a picture of Seth Rollins, "awesome," with a picture of The Miz, "phenomenal," with a picture of AJ Styles, "megastar," with a picture of LA Knight.
You want to talk about layers, by the way? There's a hilarious level of weirdness in this. Look at the people on this shirt.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, father, like famously a father, like talked about on WWE TV. The Miz, father, famously discussed on WWE television. AJ Styles, father, very actively discussed on television. LA Knight.
We don't know. Let's not assume.
It's certainly not talked about.
Let's not assume. Who should they have put instead of LA Knight then? Another father.
Roman Reigns.
This dad is a freaking awesome, phenomenal American nightmare.
Actually, that would have been great. Cody would have been hilarious. No, you can put Roman Reigns, call him a chief. No, that's no, you can't do that. No.
Phenomenal chief.
Heath Slater is the reason. Yeah, he's the reason for that. But
I don't know what does Heath Slater have a nickname?
Slater Gator? No. Yeah, the freaking awesome, phenomenal. Oh, baby.
What if it was this dad is a freaking awesome, phenomenal man, and it's a picture of Becky Lynch.
I would actually pop for that. That would get all the moms buying that shirt for the dads. I don't know who else you can get away with doing that with.
Who is buying this shirt is legitimately what I want to know.
Dude, I couldn't even tell you. This is an awful looking shirt.
A terrible looking shirt.
But that's the problem with being able to do like print on demand, is that any design just makes it and you decide if you want it.
That's the problem with t-shirts.
Known father Becky Lynch.
All these t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, this is it. It's the freaking awesome, phenomenal Apex Predator. You got to put Randy on it. Famous father Randy.
Bless Randy.
By the way, donate a super chat and email, get your question statement read on the air. Supports the show, supports us. We get to show you silly shit like that.
This father, I guess it's this dad. This dad is a freaking awesome, phenomenal. Just me, Oos.
You could be Oosy Juicy Daddy.
I can't get a KO fighter, freaking awesome, phenomenal fighter.
Does he have anything?
Oh, freaking awesome, phenomenal deadbeat. It's a picture of Dominic.
I thought it was gonna be Ray, but that's even better.
Well, yeah, it's Ray, but Dominic.
Oh, it's Ray, but it's X'd out. It's Ray, but it's X'd out in Dominic.
Yeah,
yeah,
there we go.
We did it. We did it. What Bronson Reed? They call him the Colossus, so you could do that. He's a new
big. His dad is a freaking awesome, big, phenomenal, freaking awesome, phenomenal, big.
Big. That's the one. That's the one.
What a terrible shirt.
I'm trying to think who else would really make sense for this. No one else does. Oh my god.
Maybe Trick Williams after that. That's him with the envelope.
Did you hear the crowd? They were chanting, "You're the dad." They just lost it in there. Trick. God bless Trick and Lash.
I hope it is something like that, and it's like, this is gonna end your title reign. He has to relinquish the title to go be a dad. Like, shit. I'm pregnant, now I have to relinquish this belt to be a father.
Could you imagine if it's actually pregnancy results and it's Trick Williams is pregnant, so you got to relinquish the title?
Yeah, he's pregnant.
You're pregnant. Oh man, if Christian were still with the company doing the gimmick he's doing, that would have been it right there. Jeff Valley Driver gets it.
I don't know if Christian could get away with that gimmick on this television show.
No, I don't think he would. Like maybe on NXT. It would work on NXT. Maybe. Especially because he'd be like everyone's dad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't do it with anyone. But yeah, listen, since we're talking about NXT and we got a couple minutes, we don't need to spend too much time. A couple of things that popped me was that Wes Lee is back. That's good news. It's nice to see him back in the ring. Good dude. Wild that we were saying, when he was injured 5 months ago, this is going to be a year-long recovery, maybe even talk of retirement. And he's back and he's wrestling next week. At least he's advertised to wrestle next week. That's pretty cool. I'm really happy to see that. And on top of it, he's one of those can't miss wrestlers. So good to see him back.
I'm glad Wesley's back. Glad it seemed very serious, but he's coming back. So good on him. Look forward to him getting back in the ring.
Not too long ago when he shared a photo from, or him, or maybe the people he was doing his PT with, they shared the photo of him upside down with them like holding him by the ankle. That was
that's the give me all your money right there.
Yeah, well, listen, if you got to pay the people to get through that surgery and that PT, they got to
I take the kids and I grab them by their ankles and I shake them. I'm like, give me all your money. Give me all your money.
Like, you have all the money. But anyway,
kids,
point being,
my wife's not a fan when I do that. She's like, what are you doing?
Payday's coming. Payday's coming. Stop it. Anyway. Yeah, when I saw that particular photo, I was like, oh, maybe this is good news and he's advanced. I didn't expect him to be, reportedly 9 months ahead of schedule advance, but it's pretty great. So good for him. Wes Lee's back. What really, really, really got me was when they announced the ladder match for the Women's North American Championship. And first of all, the fact that they're having a ladder match at the UFC Apex is like Dana White's biggest nightmare ever. I love it. And then the way they're going to get the qualifiers is through a combine.
Yeah, this rules.
First of all, for those who don't know, like the NXT combine until the pandemic was like the thing. Like they aired like a 5-hour live stream of the combine where they got their best times and they all competed against each other in different feats of strength and different feats of excellence in the ring and outs. And now they're going to do a ladder match, and the way that you get in is by basically having the best bench press.
This is fantastic. I need full on combine, by the way. I need like hand measurements so we can debate like, oh, what kind of hand size? Are their hands big enough to climb up the ladder? Can their hands be steady on the ladder? Feet measurements as well. To make sure they're steady and sturdy on the ladder. I need like ladder climbing gimmicks. I don't want like I need full combine, but I don't want like actual combines. I don't give a fuck about 40-yard dash and how quickly you can box jumping and all this kind of stuff. I don't want any of that. I need like funny combine shit. So I need like running up the ladder, like how quickly you can run up the ladder. And New Japan just did a lemon eating contest as part of the match. You need some shit like that.
Is that a Kings of Pro Wrestling Provisional Championship?
Yeah. That belt rules. That belt rules. So silly. Love it. We need like a good old eating contest in this combine and everything. Like that's the stuff. That's the stuff that I would need. Yeah, I had to stop myself because I knew people would take that a certain
and so they did.
I was playing off the ladder gimmick. You got to make sure your feet are sturdy to climb the ladder.
Sure.
It's the joke of quarterback always got a small hand. He can't grip the football. Come on, guys, get your mind out of the gutter.
It's NXT. That's impossible, and you know that.
I know.
The opening segment was like the thirstiest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Bro, when Trick Williams, when she was like, I don't like Reese cups, I like Kit Kat bars. And
Let me break off a piece.
Yeah. Trick Williams is all, let me break off a piece of that fancy feast. Yeah, Trick Williams is like, such a good response.
You've got Lash there the whole time, just like fanning herself with whatever was in the package. And I'm like, it was so well acted in the
they were 2 seconds away. They were 2 seconds away from pouring maple syrup all over each other and licking that shit. 2 seconds away.
The Trick Manor is on its way.
Oh, could you imagine?
Wrestling Temptation Island.
We need it. That's USA Network. Well, it's Netflix now, but that's coming up.
Raw's going to be on Netflix, so there you go. I mean, NXT is going to be on the CW, so it'll be One Trick Hill. We talked about that already.
Oh yeah, the failing of the Wonder Look test. Chi-Town Spurs. Someone misses out on qualifiers because they failed the Wonder Look test. Like, you're too stupid to even be part of the qualifiers. I need the therapy session. I need the therapy on there. Like, so, oh man, there was a Madden game. I don't remember what year it was, but like you actually had to do like the Wonder Look test. I remember this, and it was like, would you consider yourself a glass half full, a glass half empty, or I don't know, or whatever, like type of person? And then you answer it, and like they actually gave you a Wonder Look score. I hated the math questions. It asked like 98 divided by 2. It was like, I don't know that shit. Are you kidding me? No idea what 98 divided by 2 is. We need that though. We need them doing the Wonder Look type test. Like if one wrestler runs the ropes at 20 miles per hour and another wrestler runs the rope at 10 miles per hour, at what point do they meet in the center of the ring? That's what we need. We need some dumb shit like that for this.
And it's like Ariana Grace aces it somehow.
Good.
Yeah. That'd be fun. There was some, oh man, just the idea of doing the combine to qualify is just amazing stuff.
I love this idea by our pal Jake Shaw.
Yes.
And it should bring back the Wrestle House gimmick, make it MILF. Oh yeah, I'm all in on that. All in on that one.
The first year they did Wrestle House, I was absolutely into it, and then they did it again in a way that just wasn't as good.
I don't remember the second one.
That's the problem. Nobody does. It was always the Thanksgiving around that time episode, and like no one pays attention around American Thanksgiving. There's millions of better things to do. So yeah, it just wasn't as good. Wrestle House really happened because of pandemic. They didn't have where to shoot, so they took a house, and that was just fantastic. They never went back to it. I would take the Wrestle House over IPWF any day of the week. Get rid of IPWF, just do Wrestle House. I don't, you know what? Do the MILF Manor. I don't care who they're gonna have. Yeah. It's Mickey James is the host.
It's TNA again. Like, come on now, just play off of that.
Bring back the Dollhouse. Bring back again. Mickey's gonna host. Like, just go.
I just need a Mike Tenay. I guess it was Taz actually, but whatever. Bring in Mike Tenay and talk about the pigeons going loose again. That's what we need. Just play that clip with Taz.
The ITW anonymous general manager did send me a message saying the children tell me mom stands for made of money.
That's true. They do think that's what it stands for.
Those are some smart kids you got there. All 25 of them. Oh no, Auntie Collins is here. Good morning to my brother and Joey Cohoney. So at one point, Collins says something along the lines of
with balls. Look at all those balls on there.
Yeah, this is something like Joey is Joey Big Balls. Joe Big Balls, because I retweeted the Joe Pearl stuff. And I said, yeah, they call me Joey Cojones. Oh, bless. Check out Wrestling Made Me Cry, please, every weekend.
Sundays at noon Eastern, everyone.
Yes. They have some fun conversations, and their chat is equally such.
Oh, Sean Lindsay has a good point. NXT basically leaning into the PC, being like, yeah, we need them like passing out condoms for the combine as well.
Well, they basically like, listen, man, everyone in NXT is dating. Okay, like it's not just a thing, but it's almost like they want you to.
Wrestlers date wrestlers.
But for the longest time, and we've talked about it on the show. The show's already a year old. This, I know, it's weird. This has been like, it used to be, do not date other wrestlers, or at least don't do it so openly. And now it's like, oh, we don't give a shit. Just go ahead and do it. Just, handle yourselves accordingly. Because I was thinking, like, I'm 99% sure when Lash Legend came in, she was either dating someone or married. She was dating someone who's now in the NFL. But at the time I was like, I could have sworn, and I know couples, relationships end and things like that. But like, I saw that she's a trick, and I'm just like, something's weird here. And like, it's not the first time, it's not the last time. But yeah, it's just everyone in the PC be fucking.
I don't care who is dating who out there. I do just like the bit of passing out condoms like it's Olympic Village. Then they had to like mass produce like 10,000 condoms to bring to the Olympics. Wasn't that a story for like Paris? I swear this is a thing.
Most romantic city in the world, they say. So why not make sure that everyone's
I'm gonna get in trouble. Paris Olympics condoms. Let's see what Paris Olympics lifts intimacy bans for athletes and is stocking 300,000 condoms.
Good for them.
I way undershot at 10,000.
Listen, this is just the way it's supposed to be.
The Olympic Village the director of the village said they're preparing for 14,250 residents at the village and are aiming to have 300,000 condoms.
God bless.
That's insane.
Everyone should aspire to have that much if you're into it.
They should have. I don't care about the friggin' the basketball, whatever USA is probably gonna win. I don't care about the track and field. Put the fucking on television. That'll draw some ratings.
Do some.
Who can go through the most condoms in an hour is what I want to see.
Tantra, the Olympics. This is, oh my God. Someone's gonna make a mint out of that, and I'm sure it starts with T and ends in hub. I have so many questions and I will never get the answer. Dude,
That's insane. 300,000 condoms.
That's wild. That's wild. And the thing is, I don't think it should be. It shouldn't be. I saw that. I don't want to get there. It should be how many. It shouldn't be how many you use. It should be how many or how few you use. You
can go through how many as well.
I guess recoil. You could do stamina, recoil.
Test the durability of it. Like,
test, yeah. How cheap are these things?
Some of them break. I don't know if that's a sport, but
maybe
can you break the condom?
Well, listen, just like how people sometimes, cheat in their own way, whether it's drugs or whatever, maybe poking holes.
Oh. Let them use the Blue Chew and
oh no, they don't sponsor our show.
Well, they're a long time sponsor, so
Souvenirs is actually that's the right answer.
They're gonna test. It's like this person was 0.8 over the Blue Chew limit, so they're disqualified for.
Bridget, just win this. You win this whole thing. Are they ripped for their pleasure? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. No, please. If you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. Oh my goodness.
300,000 condoms.
Listen, we can't all have 300 kids.
That's insane.
300,000. Oh my god. All right.
That's nuts.
Speaking of nuts, we're big drinkers on this show.
I don't know if you need a condom for that though.
Oh, you should be safe. Make sure they're washing.
What do you put the condom over your mouth? Like, then you don't get the taste. Then you're just tasting latex. You got to get the ass taste.
Well, you know how you get the ass taste out of your mouth.
This NXT's fault. Is what happens when we talk about NXT.
You wash it down with a pint or 4, and you get on a bus and you go from bar to bar, and there's never going to be a better run-in or a better segue for a pub crawl than with that.
I was wondering how you were going to stick the landing on a sequitur like that, and I'll give you a 7 on 10, Joel.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Good morning to you, Zach.
Good morning.
Zach, what are you drinking?
I am just enjoying a cream ale, a little bit of a breakfast brew. I asked Joel if it was okay to drink, it felt like it was on brand considering we're enjoying a pub crawl.
Are you washing down the taste of condom or ass?
I am not, but I thank you for asking in a delicate manner.
I gotta ask. I'm a hard-hitting journalist out here.
Oh my goodness!
Our interview with Steve Macklin, that was real journalism.
More people need to watch that thing, man. There.
I watched the first 10 minutes, and I popped at Macklin's reaction of like you played the video and he tried to like stonewall it, no self, but then he just started corpsing. Great stuff.
People also, we're gonna talk hockey here on this. Let's be honest. We got a bunch of Canadians on the show. We're gonna talk hockey.
Can we bring one more? Can we bring?
Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and bring on our
Kenny Love's here, of course.
Hey, there he is.
Hi. Technically, I was on time. I just want everybody to know that I was here on time.
That is,
and they didn't let me in. So
no,
blaming you guys.
No, you're good. It's 10:30 here, so you're on time.
Spencer, did you see the condom talk?
No.
Yeah. I think
have you?
Spencer, have you eaten any latex or ass this morning?
This morning, no.
Okay. All right.
No, that's but clear. It's only 8:31 here. It's a start to the day. Maybe between now and 10:30 my time, maybe that'll change.
A very important question was asked. How many condoms are available on this podcast?
Only 6, so get your tickets early.
Only 6.
Wow.
Yeah, we're only bringing 6.
6.
You
part of the incentive for early buys.
Oh man, it's in Toronto. It's Saturday, July the 6th. Money in the Drank. It's a pub crawl. It is very, very fun.
It's BYOC. Bring your own condom.
It's BYOC. Yeah. But there will be drinks at the bars at the various stops, and of course, it's hosted by these two gentlemen here. And who's the third? Tell them who the third is.
You do it, Zach. You do it.
Well, you stuck the landing on landing.
No,
as
you
a-
do
a
it.
guest
I'm not
co-host drinking
having this
buddy.
argument. We're going to be a
Okay.
well-oiled machine here on.
That's
on In the
Jody
Weeds.
Threat. It's TNA star Jody Threat.
Yep.
Thanks, Joel. We're a
co-host
well-oiled
drinking-
machine.
Our co-host drinking buddy, one half of the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions,
For now.
Jody Threat.
We'll see what happens
Wait,
after
what-
Friday night.
What are you drinking there, Spencer? You have a coffee mug. So is
Just
it
a coffee mug. Just
Okay.
a coffee mug this morning.
What's
It's
in
not-
it though? There's got to be something in it.
Just a black coffee.
Okay.
That's
We
all.
asked Zach what he
Certain
was
thing.
drinking. He was clearly having a beverage of choice there. So
It's a
I have
breakfast. 10:30 is at least acceptable. I think if liquor stores are open, you're at least like, okay. They're not open here, in spite of being in the Texas of Canada. We don't have any. We don't have any open liquor stores at 8:30. So coffee it is until at least 10.
I have black cherry water. Is what I'm drinking. Joel, what are you drinking?
What do you think I'm drinking? I got a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's,
Wow,
it's
hard
5
stuff.
bucks in a row, yeah.
Joel has the hard stuff. All right, let's talk hockey. Who cares about all this other stuff? So Chris Jericho, real journalism as well. Chris Jericho was at the Winnipeg Jets game last night, game 5 against my Colorado Avalanche. And Chris Jericho he does this big interview. He's like, I believe in the Jets. They're going to win this game 4-2. The moment I learned Chris Jericho was at this game, I was like, if the Jets lose, I'm writing this article. Popped so many people. Chris Jericho supports the Winnipeg Jets. Jets lose. People were very excited about this article. I'm just putting this over because this was real journalism that we do here on this show. Spencer, the Oilers, they're up 3-1. They're looking good.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm cautiously optimistic, which I haven't been since like the start of November. I think I told you this last time I was on here, but I ended up putting some money down on the Oilers right after we fired Woodcroft, which is a nice little play. So knock on wood, but it's been good playoffs so far this year. I was watching Vancouver Nashville last night, and
It's a good game.
it's rare you'll catch me watching a Vancouver Canucks game, but it's there's something about the playoffs, man. There really, really is. I'm very happy for your Avalanche, to be honest with you. Boston Pizza right now is doing, and I love me some BPs. Don't get me wrong. Not a sponsored post.
Oh, that was a
But-
B, not a D. Okay.
But grow up, Joel.
Have you seen the
but,
show I host? 30
yeah.
minutes condom.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But they're doing a campaign of like, why don't we cheer with fellow Canadians for Canadians to win the cup?
No.
That. Absolutely not. I
No.
don't want any other Canadian team except the Oilers to win a Stanley Cup in the near future.
Just
And
like
I want
don't
us to win like 13.
Listen, we all come together for one cause, and that is no Maple Leafs winning the cup. That's
True.
one thing.
Big win last night. Big win.
And
They
Canadian
got hope.
soccer. Like we all rally around the soccer teams,
It's like
which I
the
think is
Kings.
fair.
But if
Like
they're-
I don't like the Blue Jays. I'm a
Well,
Red Sox fan now. I went to a
Oh.
Red Sox game a couple of weeks ago.
JPJ's ruined your life.
No, I went and I got a free hat at the game. So that's marketing you can't buy.
Easy to
Literally.
win over. Nobody should let you go to a Jays game when you're here in Toronto in July.
Give me a free Blue Jays hat. We could talk.
Zach, who's your hockey team?
There we go. I'm really not a hockey guy, man. Hate
What?
to say.
This
I'll
is like Canadian
I know.
blasphemy.
I know. I'm turning in my my Canadian citizenship at the end of the day, but I'll be a playoff bandwagoner. Like the energy when the Habs are in the playoffs is very contagious
fair.
and exciting. But season to season, I don't follow. I'm afraid to say.
my gosh.
He was a Nordiques fan.
Well, I, mean,
I have a
that's the
Nordiques
Avs
pin
fan.
on my jacket actually,
Yeah,
and
nice.
an Expos jacket.
You should root for the Avs. We'll accept you. It's a little bandwagony. You know, we're good. We've been good for the last 7 years. We got a cup 2 years ago, but we'll accept you.
You know what? My older brother, he grew up as like a Hartford Whalers fan. And so like, you know, once they moved to Colorado and no, wait, did they
Carolina.
move to Colorado?
Carolina.
Carolina. Sorry. Then I'm just going to abandon this little tangent.
No.
Have you-
please, make the points? I want to. See
Have
that.
you guys seen this commercial with the Avs fans who break up because the Avs win the cup? Is this only air? Maybe this is only airing in
Regional
in
programming.
No, I don't think regional. I think it's like ESPN. It only airs in America. They do this thing. It's like so and so. I don't remember their names. Who cares? They're like they've been together for 10 years and they've watched every Avs playoff run for the last 10 years. And then the 1 year they were apart, the Avs won the cup. He's at like a hotel bar and she's somewhere, I guess, at home. And they're like, they won and we're not together. And then the punchline is, yeah, so they broke up. And then they're at the game and like she's sitting 2 rows above with her new boyfriend and he's down there. They look over his shoulder and sees each other and he's got his new girlfriend. That's the moral of the story, though, apparently. Break up if your team wins the cup and you're not together.
That's a pretty sad little commercial.
Story. It's a terrible commercial. It's
Sarah
god-awful, but it's hilarious.
Avalanche commercial. I think we've got a pretty solid 1 and 1A right there. It's like if you're not adopting dogs, you're breaking up.
It's a terrible. Everybody can YouTube it. Just go on YouTube and just search like Avalanche playoff commercial. I'm sure it'll pop up if you want to watch it. It's the punchline's god awful, but apparently for love, break up for the love of hockey. I guess not the love of love.
Well, listen, for the love of beer, let's talk about Money in the Drink. Let's talk about why we're here. What are we doing? This is a pub crawl in Toronto. It's before Money in the Bank. But what are we doing? Am I coming to this thing?
I would really love if you came to it, Joel.
I thought you were coming.
I mean, I thought I was hosting, and then y'all got a very much more. I don't know.
You can co-host. You can also co-host. It'll leave
you gotta pay him for that.
They do. I'll just take some of Jody's pay. It's fine.
Oh, you can't co-host anymore. Unfortunately,
no, you're co-hosting the after party.
Do I
Joel's
want to co-host? By the way, if I'm taking it from Jody, do I have to talk to Ross about that?
Actually, yeah. Who approved your interview on this, Joel? Yeah, it's a pub crawl. We are tentatively planning on having 3 to 4 stops. We're just finalizing a couple of locations on that end of things. Plus brunch. Come join us for brunch. Apparently, Zach said that brunch is the hot new thing in Montreal. So I'm going to go try that out. But yeah, 3 to 4 stops. We're culminating at the Rec Room there, slightly across from Scotiabank Arena. Of course, they're helping support Smash Wrestling out in Ontario, but over here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, they're also supporting us with Love Pro Wrestling. They've had a couple of events with Winnipeg Pro. So it's kind of apropos to be closing out the events or closing out the pub crawl there at the Rec Room. They're planning on showing Money in the Bank. So if you don't have tickets to the event itself, feel free to stick around. I'm sure that either myself or Zach are going to have a tough time getting ourselves over to the Scotiabank Arena. So we might just be posting up there at the Scotiabank or Rec Room with you.
It's only a 10-minute walk from where you are. It's fine.
Yeah, I got told I have a lot of fun on these sorts of events, Joel. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, like, okay, as you guys know, like,
go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, like, you know, as you guys know, like, you know, if Spencer or I are fortunate enough to get media tickets for Money in the Bank, it obliges you to attend the press conference and the scrum. And I'm like, not sure a pub crawl and a media scrum are going to mix well together. So there's going to be some conversations in advance of this event.
See, I beg to differ. If there's one thing I could listen, if Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes taught us anything, is that drinking and press conferences, they do go well together.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe we'll get like a new catchphrase T-shirt out of this one, Zach. We should revise our opinions on this and then base our entire personality around it.
I'll take the advice of the super chats. If the super chats think we should combine the pub crawl and the media scrum, I will take that under advisement.
That's a hell of a marketing guy right there.
You got 2 cameras. You got one pointed at both of y'all or whoever's going to be at the press conference. Just do this the whole time as you're watching the show. And then the other one that's pointed at the talent for when you inevitably ask the question, "Hey, Phil,
you think we've got a 2-camera budget, Joel? What do you think we are, Fightful? Come on.
First of all, I rent my no. I rent my cameras when Tim's not around. Otherwise, I have Tim at my disposal.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Shout out.
Will there be ladders involved in this pub crawl?
I mean, I guess that depends on the.
I can pretty conclusively say yes.
Just like carry the ladder from pub to pub and everything. Just set it up, see what they say. Be like, it's Money in the Bank, brother. Like, what do you want us to do? We're here to have ladder matches in the middle of your bar. I feel this.
You actually have to climb onto the bus with a ladder.
Yeah.
I was going to say everyone has to bring their own step stools.
Are they hornswoggle?
But I love it just as much as my regular stool.
What are you doing, step stool?
That was good. I made
good.
me laugh.
I bought for it.
That was all right. But
I
but yeah,
thought it was
Joel, Jeremy, you're coming too, right? You're coming all the
Toronto?
way up to Toronto.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's a
Listen,
good city.
I'm trying to work on Kate coming this way. So if I could get Jeremy too, then everyone's gonna be great.
And on a nice
When
little
is
pub
when is
crawl
this
about
silly
wrestling.
show? I'm going to. I got a budget for SummerSlam because that's
Money
in
in the-
Cleveland. That's
Money
actually
in the-
close.
Money in the Bank is the month before. It's July 6th weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
5, 6, 7, because you got SmackDown, you got Money in the Bank, and then you got NXT Heatwave. And the other reason I'm putting over NXT Heatwave is, well, 3 reasons. One,
Because they're gonna eat some ass.
yeah, oh fucking, and 2, the Joe Gacy interview that I'm really trying to get, and 3, it's gonna be a pretty fun show. Let's face it. There's gonna be some big matches there. One that we've already started hinting at on FightfulSelect.com.
It's a good $5.
It's a good
I'm looking
vibe.
forward to the idea of Joe Gacy and Joel Pearl. I'm
I
looking
am.
forward to that.
I'm working that angle at every cost as I can, and we're gonna do it.
Should do like they do in New York and just like dress up as them and stand on the street and sell photos for like $5 a pop.
Tempting, very tempting. Just
I like this idea. I respect it.
I think it could work if you just stood outside of the Scotiabank Arena there for a couple of days. You could absolutely.
they'll give me
Like all the guys who sell bootleg T-shirts, you could be bootleg Joel Gacy.
they'll give me a badge and just be like, Joe, you've been outside for 3 days. You've been waiting to get in. To be like, yes,
You have a match.
You've got a match. You're facing Sean Spears again. Good luck. You're like, wow, Sean
Joel,
Spears.
you should go over to Love Pro Wrestling. They're you can help assemble the ring. They broke that thing down this weekend.
That we did.
the event.
If
Yeah.
you could, actually, that'd be great. If you can find me a deal on some ring rope too, that'd be neat.
Oh no,
That'd be real neat.
Oh yeah,
Those were
it's true,
shooting. Those
Croak.
were shooting scissors, not working scissors.
Oh no, you gotta get the swords just like Drew McIntyre. You snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready to get swords involved there at Love Pro quite yet. We did have our first stapler. We had our first lightsaber on Thursday night, so quite a wide variety of weapons, which was kind of nice. But yeah, if you could
I
set
missed
a
the
ring up,
lightsaber. Was
that'd
that in
be nice.
Alley Catch and Steven?
No, that was Thursday night, Zach. That's the Patreon exclusive.
Oh,
That's another pretty good $5 in the biz.
There you go. It's another $5 you should spend.
$5 is $5. Getty Lee taught me that in Bob and Doug McKenzie's classic Take Off.
Do you have to clear a lightsaber? I know a lot of weapons you got to get approved and everything. Is a lightsaber one of them that needs approval from the commission?
No, actually, and that was just an issue on the paperwork end of things, is because we had left it out thinking that no one would ever possibly bring a lightsaber. It was just left out of the documentation. So it's in there now. You do have to as of this point, but no, that's only a weekend thing. The lawyers charge you extra for that.
Feign
that's free
ignorance.
advice for
Wait,
anyone who's
like-
running a show on May the 4th.
That would be TNA running TV tapings.
Oh god.
good.
Are they? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Macklин's whole thing was
Yeah.
like, I want to call it May the 4th, but they won't.
right.
I was like, do it anyway. What does it matter?
TNA runs a show like every 2 days. I feel like
The
so.
fact that I have to do a post show 2 nights in a row, and I just did their Rebellion post show 2 weeks ago.
All right. Yeah.
Are you going to
they do run a-
Slammiversary, Joel?
I am seriously considering it. I'll tell you now. It's got to
Where's
be.
that at?
It's in Montreal.
Oh.
And so Via Rail, the train company here, is running a 40%
Rails.
off sale right now. Yeah, Rail. I'll fly, but I've been doing because of my dad. When my dad was doing his thing, I was
You
doing.
want an NWA show?
No, God no. That's Texas, isn't it?
I don't know. You're talking about rails.
Yeah, no. Oh, it took me too long to get there. Damn it. I'm usually the one who gets the rail jokes. Anyway, so I was taking the train back and forth when I was going to see my mom and my dad. And I was like, oh, the train's actually gotten better. So they're doing a 40% off sale. And it's like $200 return for me to do Montreal. But then I got to find a place to stay. That's a whole other can of worms. And TNA, to be perfectly honest, we talked about this openly. They don't exactly give us a lot of opportunities to monetize on these shows. I have to do all the legwork to find talent who want to sit and talk to me and do long form interviews. And that's fine. I can do it, but like, is the risk and reward worth it? So that's where I'm at right now. Otherwise, I'm just going to, talk to the entire Montreal dojo, IWS dojo, and just sit there, be like, so you want to sit and do a 30-minute interview? And they'll be like, sure. So maybe is the answer.
Good
There we
luck
go.
in Montreal. with
Maybe I should set up another pub crawl.
I
Two
said
pub
it to
crawls?
you once. I said it to you once. Just go to La Belle Province. Let us sit there and eat poutine. That's all I need.
Fair enough.
Never,
We can do that.
never had this poutine stuff.
Oh, delicious.
What?
I've never been to Canada. I want to go to Canada.
It's
I've
like
just
the
never
old
been.
Toronto, come on a pub crawl.
True.
We found your solution, Jeremy.
No,
I will
Toronto's
buy
not,
you
like,
your first poutine.
Toronto's like not that
Be an honor.
super far of
It's
a
not.
drive
And
either.
you can drive it, or if you decided to fly, the return is maybe $500.
I like to drive.
Let's
I'm
go
not
near
like
Canada.
I don't
It's
mind.
probably more
flying.
inexpensive for you to get to Toronto than it'll be for me to get to Toronto.
That is accurate. It will. You can fly Flair.
It's about 5 hours to Toronto. 5-hour drive. It's not terrible. I mean, I make a 8-hour drive, then I'm pretty short.
Listen,
Oh.
if Kate doesn't, there's a bed that will be here for you.
Oh, I don't want to sleep in your room.
No, you
I
just
don't-
do this one.
I don't want to hang out with you. I'm not coming to Toronto to hang out with you. I'm coming to hang out with Spencer. and
There's
Zach.
the real reason.
Aw.
Thanks for
Yeah.
finally getting it out there, Jeremy.
That's fine. That's your own problem. That's a thing that you're gonna have to deal with. I'm just offering you a free room
Why does Kate get dibs over me? That's not fair.
because I like Kate.
No, that's fair. That part's
That
fair,
makes sense.
actually.
Yeah,
That
exactly. I
makes sense. Lovely human being. Met her in Vegas. Not Vegas, Philadelphia.
was gonna say when
That's
you
next WrestleMania.
We'll see about that. Y'all got to stop trying
Possibly.
to put Vegas out there as the answer.
I just want to know so that I can book my travel because I really, really would like to go again. It was a neat and lit and fun time this
You want
year.
to stay at the Embassy Suites Hotel again?
Oh, big time. Absolutely.
I actually really enjoyed that
Yeah,
hotel.
it was pretty okay. The breakfast was good.
It was. Oh yeah,
We laughed, but I would happily stay there again. Right by the monorail.
yeah.
Got to sing the monorail song like 13 times.
And now the Sphere is there, so you'd actually like be up close and
Oh!
personal with the Sphere.
Dude, Joel, you're making my case for me. Of course we're staying at the embassy.
No, last time it was like a $500 stay. It's fine. Between three of us, 500 is okay, but singular, it's not worth it.
I mean, all right, maybe we're staying somewhere other than the embassy.
Staying at the Travel Lodge.
There we go.
Don't.
Do they have breakfast? Do they
No.
have a water slide? That's really a determinant.
No, they don't. They barely have walls.
All right.
That doesn't
Really,
seem like a
really
great place to
unselling me
stay.
on Vegas here,
Yeah.
Joel.
So sell me on Money in the Drank one last time. I know you guys are going to be around again to promote it. Get your rocks off.
Yes.
Talk about it, please.
Yeah, we're getting really excited. We're again speaking with several establishments. Like we want to find the best possible experience for all of our patrons who are joining us on the bus. Once again, we're starting with a breakfast spot, which will not technically be an official spot on the crawl because breakfast places are not really keen on large reservations on a weekend, which is understandable. But as Spencer mentioned, we're going to conclude at the Rec Room, which have been great partners for us in Edmonton for LPW events, and also great partners to various pro wrestling satellite events around Canada. So that's gonna be our landing point, and then again the bus is going to take us right to the front door of Scotiabank Arena for just in time for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And once again, it's not just myself, it's not just Spencer, it's not just JPJ in the chat, and as well as Lawrence and Mike from Indeed. We're going to be joined by a really great co-host, drinking buddy Jody Threat. So please get your tickets today, tixar.com/love wrestling. It's going to be a great time, man. Don't miss out on this.
I have it on good authority that Jody Threat is a pretty good drinking buddy.
She is. Yes, absolutely.
So I've heard.
Um,
So I've been told.
Zach, I just sent you a DM for one more place that you should try, and
Okay.
Jody Threat would absolutely relish going there. So if you
All
can,
right.
absolutely get in there. It would have to be after 4 p.m., but you can make it happen.
My initial 4 p.m. stop turned us down, so I'm going to reach out to them.
Oh, we're gonna go there. I'm gonna do my best to get you in there. We're gonna do it. That place is one of my favorite spots. I might even just start there.
Hey, man. Yeah, like there'll be some select people who know our route outside of the pub crawl, and I would very much like for you to, if you can't make the whole crawl itself, understandable. Would love to run into you at least one of the spots.
We should get you to the bar at the Four Seasons Hotel. See if Tony Khan will get you in there. See if Tony and Chad will let you use the Four Seasons Hotel bar.
I mean, I know we're talking about the upper echelon of hotel bars, but I like hotel bars. There's something about hotel bar that I really enjoy. Not the prices, but
I agree.
the hotel bar environment. Wonderful.
It's classy. It's classy in a I'm going to pay for my date kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfectly put.
We do have a super chat from Pluggo before we let our
Oh,
go.
what's he
guest
saying?
go. Is Love Wrestling? I don't know what the
What is that?
Fling it.
Pro Ass Etong company.
I'm gonna say,
Pluggo, how many of you had this morning? What are we doing?
Jeez Louise, man, it's 10:52 a.m. for you, bud.
I'm quite confident. Pluggo's the sober one of the bunch on this one, but yeah, what was that?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident as well too that like yes, we are, unless no, we really aren't. You know, that's the best I can give you there, buddy.
Well, there's your answer.
Ah,
and then said, will there be punch and pie? And also he can't spell.
Potentially, there may be punch and pie.
Depends on what you're ordering for brunch.
If you're purchasing a ticket, we can confirm and or deny. But that's only for ticket holders.
I'm gonna take my 2-year-old. We're gonna come to the brunch. It's gonna be hell. Y'all are gonna love it.
Oh yeah, kids at brunch, man, love it. Almost as good as on airplanes.
Yeah, nothing goes better with a bunch of drunk 30-somethings, 20-somethings
than toddlers.
Toddler. Well, they're basically the same. So maybe it will be okay.
Chances are you're going to be babysitting Zach just as much anyways, so we'll call her even.
Pluggo says more people will come if there's punch and pie. What if we punch a pie?
No. I'm a pacifist at heart.
I did it. Yeah. All right. Y'all get out of here. Go home.
I am
Thank
home.
you, Spencer. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, guys. It's good to see you.
And you.
Go Oilers, Jer. Sorry.
Let's
beat the Avalanche.
That's fine. We're only going to meet if we meet in the conference finals, so we got a little ways to be enemies. We'll be friends.
Well, I hope to see you there.
Yes, me too.
Thank you, pal.
All right.
See you, friends. Good to see you.
And you. Go get tickets for Money in the Drink. Do it. Do it right now. You haven't
do that.
Yeah. All right. Y'all can see yourselves out. Oh, thanks again to the Love Wrestling crew. Thanks to Zach. Thanks to Spenny. Go to the event. My plan is to be there if I can. Y'all should come too. And of course, JPJ is going to be there. Pluggo's going to be there. Lawrence is going to be there. Everyone is going to be there. Maybe even Jeremy will go if you make the drive up. You want to just have one of your 27 kids chauffeur you to the city and then bring you back.
I don't trust them. Are you kidding me?
That is a valid point. I fully understand.
Kidding me? No, I don't trust them at all.
Me neither. But anyway, oh god. So there we go. We did NXT. We talked about Love Wrestling. There's nothing else from NXT, right? We're good. Other than
talk more about the NXT Village.
Nope. By the way, the NXT Village really is a place. Like they're all in the same apartment complex as it near the PC. It's kind of a reality. But anyway, did you read the story about Tiffany Stratton and how she started dating Ludwig Kaiser?
Rock, paper, scissors. They got split up on the draft.
I know, but to me, that was more of a you're a new couple, so let's see how you can deal with being separate. I don't know.
I don't like that.
Married. They're not married, so maybe that's their line in the sand.
They usually do a good job of keeping couples together for the draft. That one was a little weird to me. I was like, why are they splitting them up? In the draft?
Maybe they said they'd be okay with for all we know, they asked and they were just like, yeah, it's fine with us, or maybe they're upset about it. Maybe they don't love it, whatever.
I mean, they've been split because Ludwig's been on Raw and she's been on SmackDown. So I guess they just didn't change it. But I don't know. I thought they would kind of keep them together because they've done it. They do a good job at that typically.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It did feel a little strange, but hey, if that's the way it's going to be, then that's the way it's going to be.
Yes, I saw it was a rock, paper, scissors contest. So
I love
it. It's how great relationships start, honestly.
That's true. It should never be about going on Tinder and finding your partner and then saying, hey, you want to get together. It's about rock, paper, scissors at a birthday party. It's not my story at all. What are you talking about?
You've told your story, right? Was it Tinder?
Yeah, we met on Tinder.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, and then here we are. We're married 5 years. We've been together for 10. And we have a child. Allegedly. Couldn't tell you where he is right now, but we have one. The draft happened. People felt certain ways about the draft. Is there a draft in here? Is it drafty? It was fine. it was protected. It was a very protected draft, and it's hard to tell stories when you're in the middle of a pay-per-view cycle and you're just coming off WrestleMania and all of your champions are new. And we talked about this leading into the draft. Protect the champions. That's what they did. It didn't really change much. Really, the funniest thing was Carlito going with the LWO across to Raw, and then people being like, "So what does that mean?" And I'm like, "It means their feud continues, and it still means nothing."
Yeah. The draft is what it is. I wish they would lean more into the real sports aspect of like when people got picked and everything. Because I think they could always do more with that of, okay, why was this person? I think McAfee actually tried to do a good job with that because, of course, McAfee understands drafts and is part of them. He did the big watch along for the NFL draft. He did the whole breakdown gimmick with that. But that's something that they could just do a little bit more with. And McAfee, the first pick, he's like, oh, Raw, we're drafting, quality and quantity. We got 6 picks out of our first 2 picks because we got Imperium, Gunther and Kaiser. We got Damage Control, Io, Asuka, Kyrie, and Dakota. All they got was Jade and Kevin Owens, but we got 6 out of 2. So, I like that McAfee tried to tell that a little bit. But, why is LWO and Legato going before Drew? Why is that a thing? Why is CM Punk going early when he's injured? Why wouldn't Judgment Day? They did try to explain. Priest was like, well, you guys have been losing, so why would you get taken so early? They tried in some instances. I wish they would have leaned a little bit more in other instances when they really could have.
Yeah, there was something that a few people have brought up about maybe moving the draft to its own special and not be a Raw and SmackDown, taking up time. And again, it can be an hour-long special. That's it on a Sunday night or something. Again, I get that it becomes a ratings ploy. People are like, oh, the draft, they get excited, draft fever, do mock drafts and all this stuff that, that we all do as well. On our shows, we do the mock drafts and we talk about who could move and we get excited for it. And then a draft like this happens and we're like, okay, maybe it wasn't what it was.
Every year this happens though. This is why I don't take the mock drafts seriously. And Sean gets mad when I troll him because none of this actually matters. They don't put the effort and stuff into it. See, I actually, Sean Lindsay bringing up the LWO together because they were putting the draft pools and they couldn't be bothered changing the pool. I'm actually okay with that. They announced the pool before the turn, so keep them together. But then that's where I would want.
But but then you've got Roman Reigns removed himself from the pool. So why wouldn't they be like, well, Carlito removed himself from the LWO pool. Giovanni Vinci is not part of Imperium anymore.
Well, that turn happened before the polls were announced. See, this is where you can explain it that Carlito still wanted to be part of the LWO so we could continue to fuck with him instead of, he's like, yeah, no, you know what actually screws you over worse? If I'm on the same brand as you, so I'm going to keep myself in the LWO group of the pool. You can explain this stuff.
Yeah, you can. I don't think it would be a very good explanation in this case.
How's that not a good explanation?
I'm following you to screw you.
Yeah.
I don't really love that as an explanation. But the problem is I don't have a better one. But if I'm sitting there listening,
that's what a heel would do. That's why he. That's why he turned on him in the first place.
It just doesn't make enough sense for me to buy it. There are a lot of things that we talk about that do make sense when they shouldn't. This is just one of those where me personally, if I hear that, I'm just like, I think there's a better explanation for that. It's just what it is. People saying
you don't have it.
Stalkers. No, I just don't have it right now. I'd have to. I'm not thinking about that right now. I have other fish to fry. I had to think about the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions being drafted to Raw. Talking about Alpha Fire and Isla Dawn.
Good for them.
That was good. I was very happy for them. The Way gets drafted to SmackDown, the entirety of them. It's fine. It's the draft was inoffensive. That's what it comes down to. It was inoffensive. Shinsuke gets moved to SmackDown so that he could have another feud with Cody Rhodes. Good for him. And Jey Uso is gonna win the US championship from Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That really seems to be they went pretty friggin' hard on that as the tease. And that's a big moment for Jey if that's where they do it. Do a stadium, big stadium. It's Logan Paul, it's Ohio. So there's a connection there. They'll play it up. And Jey winning his first major singles title at a big event. That's a pretty big deal.
If it happens.
If it happens.
I don't know if Logan's gonna lose in Cleveland. Like Logan.
It depends what they're doing with Logan Paul down the line. Because it feels to me, and again, it's very early days, that maybe he's ready to take a bit of a breather from WWE. But I don't know that for sure. It's just maybe as I'm reading the tea leaves, it's like he's here, he's making appearances, he did the WrestleMania thing, he stuck around for the next cycle, and we'll see where that goes. Because I assume he's going to be a part of Money in the Bank. If not in the match itself, then defending his US championship.
I think he's going to be around for a little while until, Nina is she is pregnant. I'm not sure when the due date is, but then I imagine he'd take time off after she gives birth. And
well, traditionally when you are pregnant, you wait until the first trimester to make the announcement, because then you're in the clear, or at least as clear as you could be to announce it. So
I've never been pregnant, so I don't know.
That is a fair assessment. So let's assume that she is due in 6 months.
Okay.
Which takes us to September, October. So I assume he will go on paternity leave. But there have also been wrestlers who come back the week after their child is born. They go and hit the road.
Yeah, so like I ain't dealing with this kid.
I mean, it happens. Some people get nannies. Some people have family to help. Some people, it's everybody's different. This isn't me throwing shade at anyone, but like an example of it is Bronson Reed. Bronson had, they had their kid after the Australia show. Bronson came back to work, but it's just, again, you don't know what kind of support these people have outside of the two parents. When my kid was
Logan,
my in-laws were around, and my parents were helpful as well in their own ways.
Logan's got, his family's on his podcast all the time. They obviously got plenty of money and everything. They'll just keep feeding the kid Prime and be fine.
So to say, I
Show Speed will watch him one day. KSI will watch him the next.
I was going to say all of the dorks who are on his podcast, they're all going to spend time raising that kid. That kid's going to be so screwed up. That's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, that'll be all right. That'll be all right. So I don't know if Logan's going to lose. Maybe because like even in Cleveland, he might get booed a little bit, but I don't.
It comes down to the lead-in. And he's done this before where he's shown up, Logan Paul, in Ohio, in the state, and instead of referencing the fact that he said he's from here, and he does the whole like, and I got out of here. Yeah, and he did the whole like, this is where all the losers are. So you could do it again. Who knows who's gonna boo him in an event like that?
I think he wants to be a baby face, though.
Do you? Because I don't think he does. This is the Rock conversation all over again, where you're like, Rock wants to be cheered. And I was like, yeah, but I think he's willing to play the role as...
He's willing to play the role. He's very good at the role. But he turned on The Miz, or The Miz turned on him because he wanted to be a baby face. Like I listened to enough Logan Paul podcasts in that...
I think he came in... Sorry to cut you off. I think he came in thinking that, and this is a common thread with celebrities who come into wrestling, they come in and they only want to be a babyface because they think that it's the only thing that's good for their brand and therefore the only thing that's going to get over. But I think enough people have told Logan Paul at this point, you don't need to think about that because people know what pro wrestling is now. They know that it's acting. They know that it's not the real Logan Paul. It's different. They understand you're playing a character.
I agree with that. But I also think there's an ego part of this that like they might all understand that they still want to be cheered. They still want to just have that run of I'm the good guy out of this. I think Logan Paul, I still think The Rock, they want that. They do. They understand playing the heel. They're very good at playing the heel. They're willing to do it. They know the story and everything. They still want to just be like, you know what? I want to be cheered.
I think that both things are true. I think they want to be cheered, but I think they're willing to play the character on screen and then off screen take in the adulation for the character they play and be accepting of people's praise. And I think that's good enough for them.
They healed Patrick Mahomes in Kansas
Very,
City.
very strange thing to do.
Well,
You know what I really think it was? I think it was Triple H just being like, if they're not the New England Patriots, it doesn't matter.
no, I think I don't know this for sure. Obviously it probably would have been smart to have Patrick Mahomes as the babyface, but it was through Prime, right? He's wearing the Prime chain. He's hanging out with Logan Paul. This felt like Logan brought him in, so he's got to be associated with Logan. That's what it felt like.
Did they really hit that on the head, though? Like Samantha Irvin, when she did her announcing of Patrick Mahomes in the audience, I wish she would have said, and Prime sponsored athletes, Patrick Mahomes. But instead, she ran through the NFL thing where he's a Super Bowl champion, he's an MVP, and so on and so forth. And like, that's great. But I think you're onto something. This was Patrick Mahomes, Prime sponsored athlete, not Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, and look, maybe they should have gone the other way, but maybe there was a conversation to where it couldn't go that way. Maybe it was Logan slinging dick and was like, you know what? We're doing this through Prime. This ain't through the NFL. This ain't because Patrick is here on his own volition and just wanted to show up. He's here because I'm here and we're together in Prime. So he's going to work with me. I did like McAfee's explanation. It was on his own show, but he said that he tried to babyface Mahomes of saying, oh, Patrick gave the Super Bowl rings to Logan because he knew Jey Uso was going to duck and that Logan was going to hit JD. So he tried to help things. He tried to help things. So
yeah, it's fine. I'm thinking to myself, what's going to happen when Cody Rhodes is outed as the Prime sponsor, Prime sponsored athlete, and then they got to make him a heel.
Has WWE fumbled Cody Rhodes' title run?
Oh my God, he's over. It's over. He's done. We can't. Cody Rhodes has already failed. Tomorrow on the Spotlight, Cody Rhodes, big old failure.
Well, I'm going to troll Jensen real hard tomorrow because we're previewing Backlash. I'm going to troll him so much with this show.
That show. And so, going back to the draft not being super important and other ways you could do the draft, but it being a big ratings ploy, this is talking about Backlash. This is what these shows are. These international PLEs are not big moment shows. They've shown that multiple times. Australia was not a big show. Elimination Chamber was not like a big, titles are going to change hands and everyone's going to see a huge moment. The huge moment was Rhea Ripley coming home and having a great main event match with an opponent that was a big deal. Same thing here in France. None of these matches are so big that you are expecting Damian Priest to drop the title. You're not expecting Cody Rhodes to drop the title. Maybe the one exception right now is what's going to happen in the women's tag team match, because you've got Jade and Bianca, and those two women are not quick losers when it comes to this, but they are a new tag team. So you could, again, that's the only one for me that is like a little bit up in the air, that like you could tell the story that they're not a tag team, somebody screwed up, blah blah blah, an established tag team beat them, they're still learning, they're not just a thrown together whatever. Other than that, like, the show is not important, but it's still fun. France paid for it. Leon paid for the rights to bring in WWE. That's what the presentation is. That's what this big deal is.
They're going to do DQ in that tag match. I'd beat Jade in the tag match. Just not because like I think she should be beaten and everything. I do it largely just to get it out of the way, because you run the risk of just continuing the winning streak, and then eventually you do have to beat her. It's okay if you do the, oh, Bianca and Jade are a new kind of tag team, especially if you use the mist and everything. You got the numbers game with Io and Dakota, who I'm sure will be part of this. I don't know if Naomi's showing up to have Bianca and Jade's back, but it could be a 4-on-2 thing. And then Jade loses. I don't think anybody's people will be like, oh, they fumbled Jade, how could you ever lose, type of thing. Jade would be fine if she loses in that type of manner. I'm not saying beat her 100% clean as a sheet or anything, and have the numbers catch up, have heels be heels, have her lose, and then you don't have to worry about protecting her so much she has to dominate every single match as an undefeated monster, because I don't like undefeated streaks. They don't do a whole lot for me.
We discussed this with Hook, and we said the same thing. The sooner you beat Hook, the sooner you can work on other character development traits for Hook. And it's the same with Jade. I'm fine with beating Jade. They should beat Jade. It shouldn't be that she is this incredible monster who never gets beat, because that's boring. That's Goldberg. Goldberg's not exactly everyone's cup of tea. So what are we doing here? Goldberg and AEW. That's all I want.
Well, AEW is too cheesy for Goldberg.
That's right. You know who's not cheesy, though, is Hulk Hogan. Did you see that 700 Club interview?
No, I didn't watch that whole thing.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen clips. I've seen people calling out every single lie from it. The only thing that I just want to bring up from this whole thing is the monetization of Jesus by these people is insane. And I'm a Jew saying this, okay? Jesus means nothing to me, you know? He's wearing this John 3:16 t-shirt. I'm looking at it right now. And he's got Hulk Hogan. He's got his logo on it, because he's very clearly selling this and other I'm a Jesus guy, brother. He's selling this at his beach shop. He's trying to monetize his religion, which is just if you haven't figured it out by now, it's just weird. It's gross.
He's a worker, brother. He's like, that's. I will say, people are running with the Roddy Piper story.
Yeah.
That's as true as a Hulk Hogan story can be, because there is, if you go to the Fightful article, I've included the clip from A&E where the voicemail from Piper plays. Now, I don't think it's AI. Could he have gotten that message a day before Piper died? Maybe, but I mean, obviously it would have had to happen before Piper died. I'm saying, like, could he have listened to it a day before, type of thing? And then he just decides for some reason, because he's Hulk Hogan, to say, oh, it was 2 days after he died, brother, is when I heard it. It's very possible. Well, Hulk Hogan's old. I don't know if he knows how to use technology. Also, phone companies just screw up. You don't get messages until later and stuff. But the Piper story, about as true as a Hulk Hogan story is going to be. So, you know.
Also, okay, yeah, listen, not in the defending Hogan front, but if you if you get a voicemail and you do not check it, every single time your cell phone reconnects or turns on, it's going to tell you have a new voicemail. He probably didn't notice it for a couple of days, or he finally saw it and he was just like, oh, what's this? And then he heard the voicemail and realized, oh, that's really sad. He just died. This is so weird. And now he just tells the story as it is. Like, it just sounds to me like Hulk Hogan doesn't know how to work his phone, brother.
It's that, but also because Hogan's history is Hogan's history. It's always hilarious that, like, what Hogan wants to happen happens after they pass away. Because the story with Piper is like, you know, he wouldn't surrender himself to Jesus. He wouldn't surrender himself to Jesus. All of a sudden, Piper passes away. Now he surrendered himself to Jesus. I got this voicemail 2 days later. What's the story with Savage and Ultimate Warrior? It's like, oh, right before they died, brother, we made peace. Everything was all good. Can't hear from them. They're dead. But trust me, brother, we're all good. Everything got squashed. It happened like 2 days before they died. So that's why people are rightfully so a little weary of what Hogan has to say.
Cannot wait for the podcast. Cannot wait for the Hogan podcast.
I want that to come out. I don't think it ever will.
No, because I think it's going to get back to him real quick that people are fact checking him. There are going to be more podcasts about the Hogan podcast than there are going to be anything else. He's going to do one podcast, and then people are going to tell these are all the fake, and then he's going to have to, because he'll have a host. The co-host will bring up all the factual inadequacies, and he's going to have to spend an entire podcast talking about those, and then it's just going to snowball. It's just going to be Hogan talking about everything that people bring up after the one show.
It won't, though, because he'll just want to ignore it. Or two, he'll do what The Undertaker does. Undertaker does this on his podcast because people bring up The Undertaker and his inaccuracies, and the co-host will bring it up. And Taker's just like, oh yeah, sorry that my memory sucks and that I couldn't remember this day or this year and everything. And he just moves on. Like, he just buries people for just having a good memory or for fact checking any of that. He's like, just listen to the story, brother. That's all Hogan's gonna do.
Wait, isn't the Undertaker's show that's Patreon though, right?
But he has free episodes as well.
Oh, he
But
does
yes,
do a
it's
free
also
episode?
Patreon.
I thought it was entirely Patreon. I'm like, well, the only people who care are the people who pay for it. But if there's a free one, then I guess that's out the window.
So no, like that's what the co-host will probably do. Is like they'll check Hogan on it, and Hogan will just be like, "Oh, sorry, brother. Just kind of forgot. My memory isn't all that great, but I trust me, brother. This was like the story is true. Don't worry about the years and the factual part of things. The story is true. That's all it'll be. Hogan's not gonna go to great lengths to defend himself.
It is Hogan though. It's the idea. It's just the idea of him having to snowball this whole thing. It's one episode, and then it just turns into like him doing 17 episodes trying to be fact checked and then re-fact checking every week. I love it. That's what we should do. I can't wait until the show becomes in the brother in the weeds.
No, nope, not doing any of that. That sounds terrible.
Someone's got to do it. Anyway, Kenny Omega returns tonight on AEW Dynamite. Tony Khan hinted about potentially having a authority figure on the show while Tony Khan is out. People are trying to jump that is Kenny Omega. But what if it's not Kenny? What if it's somebody else?
I like this idea.
I wanted to bring this. That's true. Possibly.
I like this idea. That's true. I wanted in like the same Kendrick like level. Like, I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you drop the leg. I hate the way that you say, brother. We hate the bitches you're fucking because they ain't real women. Notice I say we because I'm what the culture's feeling. What the IWC is feeling. That's what we need from Savage. Just an AI Randy Savage just dissing Hogan the same way Kendrick is dissing Drake. Great.
Oh no. X is going to have Cody Rhodes on. Triple H and Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, that's like 12:01 or some shit. I gotta listen to that. Unfortunately,
12:05 Eastern, live on the Superstation Twitter. Anyway, yeah, you know what? This is the one time where I might be interested in the idea of an AI diss track from Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah,
be a man, Hogan. Anyway, it was. Thank you. Once in a while, I get it down packed. Kenny, Tony, Kenny, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon going to be the anonymous general manager?
No.
Here comes the money.
No.
Okay. Who could it be? Who should it be? Someone had mentioned actually earlier in the show, if you are going to have Kenny come out and do this, Swerve should absolutely align with Kenny ASAP to kind of tie together Saturday. And I don't hate that idea. But how do we get there? Does Kenny come out and say, I'm the guy? Does Tony do a pre-tape and he says, I'm working from home, so in my absence, this will be the person who runs the day-to-day operations of all Elite Wrestling, and then out comes Will Washington? Or Kenny Omega comes out, and that's the beginning of it. How do you do this?
I don't know. I wouldn't do it at all.
You don't want to do not anonymous. You don't want to do a general manager or GM by proxy?
No.
I get it.
Nope.
Tony just hit, so I figured that was something worth discussing.
I know. I don't want to do it. I want the EVPs to be dickhead EVPs on television. I feel like that's the whole point of this. I don't think having a proxy authority figure it defeats the purpose of the attack. It defeats the purpose of them being the EVPs. That's their title. That's their job. That's what they've been talking about for weeks and months now. Kenny coming in here, okay, fine. For one show, Kenny doing this, because it's in Winnipeg, fine. I'd attack Kenny. I'd take him out. And then he can't run the show either. No, I don't want a proxy GM or proxy authority figure. If it's Kenny for one night, because he is an EVP as well, I'll accept that. But then he should be overruled. Kenny tries to make a decision, And the Bucks are like, you know what? No, actually, 2-1 majority rules. Sorry, Kenny.
But no,
we're not
because
going to do that.
But the idea here is that he's speaking for Tony, and Tony's the president and CEO. So Tony bestows upon this person the rights and freedoms associated with it. So it's not about it. Nobody gets outbid or out.
Well, that's how it should be.
I don't
What's the point of them being the EVPs?
Well, that's the problem, is that Tony Khan is the CEO, so Tony should be able to turn it back. This is the inadequacy of doing this, is that Tony Khan, being the president and CEO of All Elite Wrestling, can go against the EVPs, and he gets the final say. Nobody's really established how that looks or what it should be.
The Bucks should just super kick him. He's a hurt man. Just beat him up.
Well, yeah. You know what you do? You knock him down, and then you get a cat, and you put the cat on Kenny's chest, and you see how much it hurts, and then you kick him some more.
I want the Bucks like just abusing all their power. That's what I want.
I'd be fine with that. I think it'd be very fun. It'd be something completely different for AEW. I by the way, Andrew Zarian's cousin King Potato. This is the answer. It should be Mercedes. She should come out and be like, why isn't it me? I am the CEO. And people just be like, oh yeah, no, that would make sense, wouldn't it? And then they all just decide, okay, fine, Mercedes, you're the CEO. She's like, okay, I side with the elite. And everyone's like, oh, son of a bitch. And that's how the heel turn starts.
I just want the Bucks abusing all their power. I want them to give Jack Perry like some nondescript title. Make him the chief scapegoat officer, some shit. I don't care what
Chief
they call
branding
it.
officer.
Nah, they can't do that. Cody will get mad.
Oh, that's true. But they're best friends now. They've always been best friends. Maybe Cody gives his blessing. Someone needs to ask today on that Spaces if Cody has given the blessing for a new chief branding officer.
Yeah. Jeff, nobody's pre-complaining. We're just fantasy IDing. Fine, we won't preview AEW at all because we apparently can't talk about the show and pre-complain and talk about what they might do or what we'd like to see.
Yeah. We can talk about the show. What are we doing? I can't fantasy book, so what do I do?
I don't know.
Oh shit, this show goes to hell when we can't fantasy book.
I guess we got to talk about what happened on Raw. That show sucked.
Jey Uso pinned the champion, so he's not going to win the. Sorry, fantasy booking. And let us be bitchy. This is what we do, Jeff. AEW is 3 hours tonight. I can complain about that. Jeff Jarrett should be the GM, by the way.
I'm fine with that. They want old Jeff. Jeff just hitting people with guitars.
Jeff Jarrett, who by the way, conspicuous by his absence in AEW. Let's just put that out there.
He's doing Triple media. Well, yeah, I guess Triple A as well. He's doing media.
What media is he really doing?
I actually haven't seen him do a ton of media for this.
And they just they've officially announced the new hire for media for live events, and that's what it was marketing. But that's what Jeff was kind of doing when he was brought in.
Oh, that's true. I guess. Are they doing live events though? They haven't done that for over a year.
Well, one can make the comment that live events are literally any event that AEW runs live in an arena, televised or non, and all their events are televised. I think Jeff was brought in because it was on the fence between whether or not Collision would happen. And then Collision happened and everything changed. So Jeff became a performer and maybe did some event booking. I don't know for sure. I'm actually quite curious. I would like to know what Jeff's role was, how it changed when Collision came, and what it became after that. Because clearly he became much more talent-based than anything else. They gave him a damn title belt. You know, he is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre champion. So he hasn't had to defend that title yet. But instead, now he's just in AAA, where he's working, with Satnam and Parker Forward role and our pal Sam Adonis, whom I love. Very happy for Sam Adonis. But hell of a group there in AAA.
I don't like Jeff as the GM. I don't like anybody as the GM.
There should be no GM. Should it be an anonymous general manager? The anonymous ITW general manager has put out that they would like to be that.
that she wants to be the GM. I don't want her as the GM. I'm just going to complain about any GM. Complain.
Well, yeah, that's what we're here for. That's the point of the show, isn't it?
Just to complain. That's all I'm doing.
All right, give it up. We have an AEW show. Jeff Jarrett should be the Ring of Honor champion. Can he be? Can Jeff Jarrett come back to Ring of Honor and save them?
Oh, I mean, anybody can be the Ring of Honor champion, allegedly.
Oh, here it is. Jeff Jarrett is the secret benefactor for the Bucks and the Elite because he has experience running promotion. But the first thing he does is rename the Bucks Generation Me. He gives them the contract and says, you're no longer the Young Bucks. You are Max and Jeremy Generation Me. We can do it.
Goldberg as the GM would actually be good.
Imagine the trolling would be just over the top.
Goldberg
My first thing, scrap all Bret Hart imagery from the company. FTR is like, I quit. I'm out. Oh, CM Punk is just like, well, I'm never going back. Oh, man. Oh, by the way, CM Punk, what do you think of that thing with Drew McIntyre on the show? We can jump back and forth. What do you think of the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre Raw back and forth? Some people were, kind of thinking CM Punk being the heel here, or at least presenting as the heel, was not for them. Give me your thoughts.
Sorry, I had to correct something with our news team.
Well, you correct them and you tell them that you're busy.
All right. So what was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, just that whole back and forth from Raw. I just want your opinion on it as we're kind of bouncing back and forth.
I didn't watch it. I was watching the Thunder game.
But you saw some of the stuff. You saw some of the clips.
I saw CM Punk did the pipe bomb promo again.
Well, I mean, he sat down and he talked with his legs, crossed.
Yeah.
It's kind of what, Drew's been doing for a while now. So.
Yeah. But he stole that from CM Punk.
Well, all right. Well, then we're back to AEW again. What do you do with this power struggle? I mean, that's a New Japan show, but what do you do with the power struggle within the Elite and with Tony Khan? I know you don't want a GM per se. Then what happens? Who makes the decision?
I've already said it. I said it. I want the Elite to run the show.
To just say, you've made this decision, Tony, but no, that's not going to fly because we can stop it and we're live and we're here and you're not. LOL.
Yeah, I want them to, if they try to appoint a general manager, I want the Elite to take them out. Whatever they try to do, I want the Elite to run the show. That's what I personally want. And maybe I'm complaining if anything else happens.
What if Sting were the person to come in?
I want the Elite to take them out.
You want the
Elite?
Elite?
The EVPs, again, like they've been calling some shots. Yes. I want them to continue to lean into that. I don't think a GM by proxy. I think Tony Khan should transfer his power of like, oh, I'm not there. He's running the show remotely. Okay, the Elite are on site. So they should have the power on site.
They should do.
Who cares about these remote decisions?
Here's what you do. You do the guest GM every single week. It's a new guest GM. And every single week, the Bucks just beat the shit out of them. And it's an ongoing bit.
Fine with that.
Just like the Tumblr for Okada. Everything is just a bit every week. Just beat up the new GM for the week.
I like that. The new GM comes out, media gets announced, double super kick. Oh, done. Nope. We have the power. And I want them to really lean into they are the EVPs. It is two of them. There's only one Kenny Omega. The Tony Khan is not there. If Kenny continues to travel or if he shows up, whatever it might be, or if Kenny is the GM by proxy or whatever it might be, but he's an EVP. Why does he need to be the GM? He's also an EVP.
Well, hold on. When they kicked him out of the Elite, didn't they also say something about suspending his EVP status?
Okay, good. I don't play off that.
I'm trying to remember if that was something that they did. I know that on his Twitch streams, Kenny's been kind of shying away from calling himself an EVP.
Yeah. Well, again, good with that. That if they did take away his EVP status, because I don't fully remember, then great. I think they should continue to play off that. And if Kenny is like, oh, I'm an EVP, Tony's giving me back the power or whatever it might be, then I just majority rule him. Like, no, 2 against 1, buddy. Sorry about that. Like a GM should not have more power than an executive vice president.
You know what I want? Excuse me. I would really like I don't want Double or Nothing to become like sold out, NWO sold out. I would want it to be like presented differently, as if it were the elite are in charge of Double or Nothing. Tony's not there, Kenny's not there. Like it's just it is the ultimate heel run show. Double or Nothing is like a completely different thing. And they're running the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Like they're not running like a bigger T-Mobile Arena where they're expecting something different. You can do that to 10,000 people, put them in an arena and have a really good, different presentation of a show. I would like that. It would be a different look and just a different feel. You do a different set of designs for Double or Nothing, make it more gritty, make it more evil. I wouldn't hate that. And then at the end of Double or Nothing, whoever is going to be part of the saving squad to take back AEW from the elites, they can either come out then or start it after the first Dynamite after Double or Nothing, whatever it is. There's just something in there that changes the way AEW presents itself during that time frame.
The Bucks and gritty don't really strike me. I think if anything, it'd be more over the top. Like they're not the NWO. They shouldn't try to be.
No, they shouldn't.
They can have elements, but like they are more. People said, "Oh, they should spray paint." Like, no, I think they should money gun people. Like that's how they should go. Like you needed some more. Jack Perry kind of has the grittiness. Like they're trying to go that direction with him, but the Bucks aren't. They aren't that. They are way more over the top, smarmy dickheads.
Yeah, they're trolls.
Yeah.
So
I think that would maybe. I like the idea of what you're saying. I just don't. I would present it in a different way. That's all.
Pour maple syrup on everyone.
They're not Canadian.
That is true. They are not.
Actually, I do like this from King Potato. It's just Kenny coming back like the Bucks are in charge. They could manage a target. Why are they in charge of this?
They would too. Like they would absolutely go back to that, and people would probably laugh because it is a statement that has been made against them before. Use it. Have fun with it. I would be fine with that. That would be good. Sorry. I'm thinking of the delivery from Kenny because it would be so over the top and stupid because it's Kenny that it would just make sense. But you got what I'm trying to say. Present Double or Nothing differently than other AEW pay-per-views have been presented and make it look like what the elite would want it to look like. It's all filmed on potato cameras. It's filmed like an episode of Being Elite.
Cutler's just filming. That's all. It's just Cutler filming the whole thing
on his iPhone, on an old iPhone. He's just like, I gotta get all the action.
And he's like, don't worry, we'll have the edited version up on Monday at noon.
And he's got a tweet out being like, guys, sorry, it was such a late night. I didn't have time to edit it together. It'll be up eventually. Don't worry about it. And then people start asking, what comes out first, Double or Nothing or the WrestleMania weekend video? I'm looking forward to AEW Dynamite tonight. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to have, a continuation of a story that is being looked at in a positive manner. And again, like we talked about on Monday, the fact that Swerve came out on Collision and started tying the two things together, his title reign and what's going on with the Elite, and standing up as like the locker room leader in AEW because he has the title. I like that that's going to be part of the storytelling as well. Samoa Joe comes back tonight too. I'm wondering if he's going to have a say in all that or what they're going to do with him moving forward because he's facing Isaiah Cassidy, right? That's not the match I would make, but I hope it's a quick match. I hope it's a squash match. And then I hope he gets a statement promo. It should be. And then it's a statement promo and he says what he's after next.
I like that Swerve addressed the elites. I again hope they continue to push that. Like I said last week, this should be an overarching AEW story. It should not just be contained in an elite little bubble. It should be an overarching thing. They took out the owner of the company. This attack was so heinous that billionaire Shad is out there Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you doing this to my son? This should not be it doesn't exist outside of whoever the elite is feuding with. Other people, random people, should be upset about this. And the elite should sling dick and take them out. And you'd be like, oh, you're upset. You know what? You're in this match against this person. Like, it should be an overarching kind of story. That's how I would do it. Anyways, but I like Swerve addressed it. Hopefully, maybe that'll play into Swerve's opponent tonight as we learn that. Maybe the elite have a say in that. This will find out. And then Joe's back, and that's got to be a quick match. Don't give me 50-50 with Isaiah Cassidy. No knock on Isaiah Cassidy, but we've talked about this. Not every match needs to be this back and forth struggle 5-star banger. Samoa Joe's a killer. He's a former world champion. He's one of the top guys in the company. Isaiah Cassidy is a tag team guy who's barely on television. It's okay if Isaiah Cassidy loses in 30 seconds. I promise you it will be okay. Because if you try to do even a 5-minute back and forth 50-50 and people are like, Samoa Joe had a great match. Are you going to do anything with Isaiah Cassidy off of that? Is that going to lead to anything for Isaiah Cassidy? If it is, fine. Do your 5-minute back and forth if Isaiah Cassidy is actually going to get a push out of it. I don't believe that's going to happen. So I would do a 30-second squash.
Give me pissed off Joe, punks out Cassidy, immediately puts him in the coquina clutch, and that's it. Just chokes him out and then gets a microphone and just yells whatever he wants until it goes. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Jericho versus Shibata is another one that's going to be very fun to watch because
that should be another squash. Jericho wins in 2 seconds.
I saw that AEW retweeted the Jericho in the Jets jersey saying, "I believe in the Jets." That just gives me
that work.
To put this up.
Yeah, that worked for him.
There you go, Jeremy. Caden told you the Avs would win. Well, so did Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho said that 4-2 Jets were going to win 4-2. I guess that was last night's score because we'd already won 3 games in the series. So unless Jericho's math is mathing wrong, very possible they could not win the series 4-2, but they could have won last night 4-2.
But they didn't, so it doesn't matter. We move on.
They lost 6-3.
Oh, Cope, House of Black. Presumably, it's going to be Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone spoiled it. Schiavone's like, he's facing Buddy Matthews, and then they're still trying to talk like it's a random member. Like maybe they change it, and maybe it ends up being Brody King or Malachi. But Schiavone flat out said, like, it's Buddy Matthews, everybody.
I mean, Matthews is the lowest person on the totem pole in House of Black. Yeah. This is we're going to Double or Nothing, and it's going to be Cope versus Malachi. Yeah. That's fine. And the Brody and Copeland match should also be a big one. Where's Brody from? Do you remember off the top of your head? Is he's a California guy, isn't he?
Sure.
I'm just thinking they do a hometown thing. Brody King.
Why are we previewing Dynamite? Aren't we doing do a full rundown of that later?
But they don't really have much right now.
What are you talking about? They got a lot for Dynamite.
Do you though?
It's Dynamite and Rampage.
But they have one match for Rampage announced.
Yeah, I mean Rampage they don't have too much. They got a lot for Dynamite. What are you talking about?
They got 4 matches in a segment for Dynamite right now.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Kenny Omega. I'm not going to do the full rundown, but they got Omega's return. They got.
Oh, I forgot about the deep match. Okay, fine. There's 5 matches in a segment.
And Orange Cassidy. There's 3 segments and 5 matches.
3 segments?
Yeah, Orange Cassidy. Kenny Omega returns, and we learn Swerve Strickland's challenger.
I don't count the last one because the last one is just going to be all played in together.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that what's going to be played in together. Omega and Swerve's challenger?
Yeah, they'll all play it up together.
You don't know that.
I do know
That's
that.
Not fair.
I saw the first draft of the script.
No, sure.
The first draft.
They've got plenty announced, Joel.
We'll talk about that in 20 minutes when you do your Tony rundown. If you want to. I don't know if you want to. Do you want to?
Tune in to find out.
I like what you're doing there. That being said, I have no idea what we're going to talk about for the next 20 minutes.
We can talk about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and they're continuing this feud. And
I mean, Drew re-signed. Punk is closing in on getting better. Drew's still hurt, but at least they're going back and forth and having some sort of build to their match.
Yeah.
The question is, when do you do it? Is it a SummerSlam match? Is it a title match? Does somebody get the title before then and we get to that point? How do we do this? Is one of them in King of the Ring? King Punk.
I don't think either of them's in King of the Ring.
I don't either. Do you think it's King Gunther, by the way? Or is it going to be someone else?
Probably Gunther.
It would make sense, but I really don't want any of the King stuff to get in the way of the Gunther presentation. Basically, I want him to take the crown, take the robe, and then just be like, okay, that's enough of that. How I want my title. And that's it. I don't want him to be, put on an English accent and pretend he's, the real king.
Nah, just give him the accolade. He doesn't have to be like, Steve Austin won King of the Ring. He didn't go around with a crown and a cape and all that shit. Like, you can have the accolade. It doesn't mean he needs to be presented as kingly, because that's something they played way too much into after. I mean, King Booker really was kind of the height of that stuff, but they played into it other times before that. But that was where it really peaked, and like every time after that, it felt like they just did the king gimmick every single time with it. Where you can do a Gunther or just Gunther still being a badass, kind of like Austin, kind of like Brock. When Brock won it, he wasn't going around King Brock or anything. He's just like, all right, cool. Here's an accolade that I have. Let's move on to something bigger.
Even in 2001 when Edge won the King of the Ring, they made it into a cup. They made it, and they that's how the Edge and Christian breakup started. You can do a cup. You don't have to do the scepter and the crown and all. You can do the presentation of the scepter and the crown because that's what you got to do for the pomp and circumstance. But like I said, then you have Gunther being like, okay, that's nice. Now back to business. And don't call me King Gunther. Call me King of the Ring winner. This is another trophy for my trophy case. That's it. Even you can, if you want to go a step further, if you want to have a symbolic crown being carried around, you have Ludwig Kaiser behind you, just carrying the stupid crown all the time and making it known visually that he won the King of the Ring, did Gunther. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I assume Gunther wins, but maybe not. Maybe it is Sheamus. Sheamus wants to do the Burger King nonsense. I think
that would be funny though. Some
people you can lean into the King stuff. Like, it's okay. It'll work. I just don't think Gunther is one of those people.
Yeah, there's also, like I mentioned, Braun Breaker just now. That's somebody else that you could have give them a major accolade right out of the gate. But again, you don't want to be like King Braun, and then that's his whole persona, is he becomes King Braun, King of the Dogs or whatever.
King of Dogs,
because he's got the dog in him. That's he does he's the dog faced gremlin son of less transphobic, so it works. The King of the Dogs, DAWGZ.
All about King of the Dogs. That doesn't seem like a great title for people.
Santos Escobar wins it, becomes King Jefe, King Boss. Let's go.
I like that. That's actually a good idea. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I like that.
He's the leader of the pack. His Braun Breaker, he wins. I don't know. That's the thing. Like the Gunther thing to me is like, you want to make sure that he's kept strong throughout this tournament if he loses, but otherwise he should just win the stupid tournament because he's coming off of a record Intercontinental Championship reign where even in defeat he looked good. So like, why not give him that accolade and make him look like the world beater? I don't know who else can win. There are people on, but we're not going to know until next week when we see the brackets and we see who's actually part of the King of the Ring tournament.
It also depends on what the follow-up is going to be. Like, if you're going to have Gunther win, then he should probably parlay that into going after the world title. He should. He's on Raw, so he'd go after the Priest title in that case. But feels like you should parlay that into a world title shot. If you're gonna have somebody like Sheamus win, then you can get more away with doing like a royal type of gimmick. Sheamus doesn't have to lean full into comedy or anything. He's been King of the Ring before. He says he wants to do the Burger King thing. But I think regardless, you should probably parlay this into a world title shot, because you're gonna have to beat some kind of big names in this thing. One, you're probably gonna have to beat somebody's gonna have to beat Gunther. So you're either gonna beat Gunther or beat the person who beat Gunther. You should probably parlay this into a world title shot.
How about on the women's side? Queen of the Ring.
So this is where I've said before, like, you can, if you're going to do a more sports-based presentation with the men, you can get away with more of the comedy side with the women. And this is where Chelsea Green can win and really lean into things. Liv Morgan could win and kind of not lean so much into the queen gimmick, but at least it's a good accolade for her as part of the revenge tour type of thing. Tiffany Stratton can win and kind of lean into the queen thing. Oh, Ryan said Tiffany and Jade. Yeah, Jade can definitely do that as well. It feels like you can probably lean more into the royal portion of it with the women. The issue, not the issue, Chelsea Green would be fantastic as the Queen of the Ring. You also, there's no knock on Chelsea. She's presented the way she's presented. You don't want to turn the thing into a complete joke. Like, Chelsea's gonna, like, depending on who's in it, right? Like, who's Chelsea beating in the finals that you feel comfortable with her picking up a victory over? Not only in the finals, but she's got to get multiple wins. Are you going to have Chelsea beat Naomi? Bianca?
She'd have to have help from someone like Piper.
Yeah. Like, are you confident? Okay, so maybe she does beat Piper. Like, okay. But then you're taking kind of mid-card women in this. And then I don't know how I feel about that, that's how you're going to put in the tournament. But we don't know until they announce the brackets and everything.
Dakota Kai. Do a Queen Coda for Queen Coda. Yeah. There was another name that I was just looking at, and I was thinking of maybe you've got new faces on Raw and SmackDown. You've got Blair Davenport. You've got Lyra Valkyria. If you really want to push them right away, you could make that work. I like the Queen Chelsea thing for if you're going to do a comedy thing. But at the same time, maybe Queen Piper would be fun to have her break out, and she becomes Queen Piper Niven, and she does a whole thing where, Chelsea and her have to face off, and Chelsea begrudgingly helps her win the crown. I don't know. We don't know who's in it, so we don't know who really could be part of this or be winning this.
I think that Chelsea Green would get the most mileage out of it. But again, then you got to have her beat people. And Chelsea's been presented in such a way that she shouldn't be beating too many people. So who are you going to put in there for her to beat?
If this had been weeks ago where they started really pushing this, you'd be looking at Queen Maxine. Because
she just lost to Candice, rightfully so.
And she did, but they had started kind of hinting like, she had a good showing in the Battle Royal, but they didn't turn that into a victory the next week. They could have started telling a story if they had that in mind of like Maxine finally starts racking up victories and she becomes a Cinderella story and she makes it to the finals. They could still do that where she makes it to the finals and loses. And it would be very funny if she makes it to the finals against Candice LeRae. And you got Queen Candice versus Maxine, and she loses again, or Maxine gets her comeuppance and finally beats Bully Candice. I don't love that, but at least it's a story that started somewhere.
By the way, they have enough women to where Chelsea Green winning makes sense. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think you can put a Bianca or a Jade in this tournament and have, unless you do like a double DQ or something, because they face, let's say they face Asuka or Io. Let's say you have Jade against Io and they do a double count out, and then Chelsea gets a bye in the next round because Chelsea beats Indy Hartwell in the first round type of thing. Like, there are ways to get there. for this. I'm not saying that there's not. It's just all about how you're going to present it and what your end game for everything is. And you gotta protect certain people, and there are other people you don't have to protect. Like Indy Hartwell can eat losses. Even Candice, as much as I want her to just shoot on everybody, can eat losses. Maxine. Even someone like Natalia. Natalia just lost on NXT Underground last night. Like they got plenty of people who can eat these losses. But if you're gonna have a Jade, a Bianca, a Io, even a Liv, even someone like Nia Jax, even Tiffany Stratton, like they also have top kind of upper mid-card women who probably shouldn't be taking L's to someone like Chelsea Green.
Natty wins and she calls herself the Queen Bee. And then when someone says, what does the B stand for? And she's like, Queen Bitch.
For that.
Yeah.
For that.
She lost last night, like you said. So
It's very sad.
what are we doing here? Huh? Why didn't we give Natty the underground win? They kind of teased that, she could have lost. Lola Vice was training in the back, and then Shayna Baszler was like, let's work on the ground game. And Lola's like, no, GTFO, we're working on punching. And it looked like Shayna was going to do something about that, or like hint that she was so upset that she was going to attack Lola afterwards after Lola lost. No, Lola won. That's it. And now that's the story. Back up to main roster. Go Natty and Shayna Baszler. It's fine.
I think they should put the NXT Women's title on Chelsea.
Oh God, I'm so for that. Could you imagine the absolute Roxanne Perez meltdown? Would be just fantastic.
For it.
Booker T being a draft analyst, by the way, the dumbest shit you could have possibly done. He was more confusing than he was helpful. And I just sat there. I'm like, mute. I don't need to hear any of this. It was not good. Oh man. Anyway, that's mostly Monday Night Raw. We got a few minutes left. You ready to do the thing? Do you want to do the thing?
What are we doing?
The Dynamite preview.
I don't know.
You have a neck brace?
I don't feel like doing it.
No? Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm kind of over today's show.
I hear you, buddy. You want to watch WWE Speed?
Live?
No, then we got to stick around for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
How about you and I do it offline instead?
Just watch. Now I got to listen to this Cody and Triple H conference call, whatever, on Twitter.
Yeah, that's a thing that's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta listen to this thing. So I don't know, kind of over it. Sorry, everybody. Apologies. I'm gonna just say bye.
Okay, that's it. It's just me. I don't know where Jeremy went. He's like gone. Yeah, he doesn't. Clearly, Jeremy doesn't want to hang out with me for the last few minutes of the show. So I guess it's just me, and I can preview AEW Dynamite on my own. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can pull it up. Maybe I'll even do my best Tony Khan impression. Let me see if I can do this. Give me a minute. I got to pull it up. Okay. Jeremy is sad. I feel bad. He's not in a good mood. It's just me who's day one-ish. I'm gonna try and look for it. I'm gonna find the AEW preview for tonight, and we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna do to justify this is on. No, I can't do it as well, but I'm gonna try and do it. Okay. I'm going to do the AEW Dynamite preview. Okay. If you're ready, you can do it in 3, 2, and 1. But
we've got a great show for everybody tonight. Sorry. We got AEW Dynamite live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. It's 3 hours of AEW action tonight live on TBS, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be in Winnipeg, home of the loser Winnipeg Jets. But you can be a winner tonight, like the Colorado Avalanche, by watching AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS. We're going to hear from Orange Cassidy. He's going to speak after his best friends, his former best friends, Trent and Chuck Taylor, had a big parking lot fight on AEW Rampage. Samoa Joe, the former AEW champion, is back in action against Isaiah Cassidy. You won't want to miss Samoa Joe and his return to the ring. We'll find out Swerve Strickland's challenger for the AEW World Title at AEW Double or Nothing. You won't have to wait till Double or Nothing to find out who Swerve Strickland will face. You'll learn that information tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AEW Dynamite. Claudio Castagnoli, fresh off not winning the AEW World Title, he'll return to the ring against Brian Cage. He's still part of the Mogul Embassy. That's still a thing. Brian Cage takes on Claudio Castagnoli. Serena Deeb, she is called the Professor, not the Doctor. The Professor, Serena Deeb, will face Mariah May in a hard-hitting women's bout. The AEW TNT Championship will be on the line as Adam Copeland faces one of the members of House of Black. Pay no attention to Tony Schiavone saying that it was Buddy Matthews. Adam Copeland does not know who he is facing, but it will be one of the members of the House of Black. Will it be Malachi Black? Will it be Brody King? Will it be Buddy Matthews, who Tony Schiavone said it was going to be, but it might not be? Will it be Julia Hart? He will face one of the members in the Cope Open for the AEW TNT Championship, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AEW Dynamite. Plus, Kenny Omega, he's back. What will he have to say after I was attacked last week by the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Jack Perry, and Kazuchika Okada? Kenny Omega is back. He'll be live in Winnipeg, 8 p.m. Eastern, AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. All of that. And in the main event, maybe, not quite sure what the main event will be, but in the main event, Katsuyori Shibata, much like me, he has gone through devastating injury in his career. They had to remove his brain like they had to remove my neck. He will be facing Chris Jericho for the FTW Championship. The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree. Chris Jericho will be in action defending the FTW Championship against Katsuyori Shibata. You won't want to miss this great card we have tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. And stick around, because after AEW Dynamite at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS, it's AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS. Jay White is in action. 3 great hours of AEW programming tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. Thank you to the great fans of AEW and the great fans of Pepsi. Thirst-quenching Pepsi. AEW is a lot like Pepsi in that it'll fill you up. Justified, this is awesome chant.
We good?
I think that's actually very tight and like choking me there. Feels
No,
like
you'll let that loose, Tony.
I'm good.
You good? You promise?
Yeah.
Dynamite.
I got a hurt neck. Did you see the devastating maneuver that I took off air? Maybe one day we'll release the footage. I got attacked. The move that I got hit with is banned in multiple states,
including Florida?
Florida, Tennessee, Jacksonville. That's
Jacksonville is in Florida. I hate to break it to you. Who's the American?
The great state of Jacksonville.
That's right. Yeah, Duval. Anyway. Yeah,
North Dakota?
North Dakota. What about South?
No, it's legal in South Dakota. It's banned in North Dakota, though.
More progressive than North Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, closer to Canada. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canadian's more progressive. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm very neck strong, everybody.
yeah, next
Be
strong, he'll
neck
take you on.
strong.
Yeah, his favorite band is Trapped.
Nope.
Nobody likes Trapped because they all went crazy. All right, we're done. What we back on Friday?
Pepsi.
I do like Pepsi. I'm more of a Diet Pepsi guy. The Diet Coke is because it was
You're
on
drinking
sale.
Diet Coke.
I know it's because it was on sale. I get whatever's on sale.
WWE is like Diet Coke, and AEW is like Pepsi.
Sure,
That analogy actually works.
I mean, it could be like Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, but yeah.
Why? No, AEW is Diet Coke because it's watered down trash. Unlike AEW.
You just said AEW was
Pepsi.
Diet Coke and watered down trash.
No,
Mhm.
I said WWE was Diet Coke.
You sure? Someone's gonna figure it out.
Because AEW is like Pepsi, Joel.
No, I get it. I
Pepsi.
thought you had misspoken and said AEW instead of WWE.
I don't ever misspeak.
That's fair. Louis did send us a super chat. It was basically just money. Thank you for money.
I have a hurt neck, everyone. I took devastating maneuvers. It's very bad.
They're gonna think you're making fun of it now.
It's very serious.
It is very serious. So we're
You
gonna
see
come
this
back.
neck brace that I've cobbled? This is high technology.
Looks good.
Pepsi.
We'll be
In
back
the
on,
weeds is like Pepsi. Busted open is
like Coke. Like Coke. They are like Coke. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But tell your friends
In
about
the
it.
weeds is like Pepsi. Busted open is like P. Diddy.
Oh God, we're never getting on that story. We're never getting picked for this show. Oh boy, we're back Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern.
I'm just kidding.
I know. Cry me a river. We'll be back. We'll talk about Dynamite. We'll preview SmackDown on the weekend. It's all the fun that you need to tell your friends to be part of. We're serious people here on this show. Only serious business. No fantasy booking. I am at Joel Pearl. JOELBERL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you